Welcome to another episode of Week in Review from CitizenCitadel. This week we'll look at the Starlifter Q&A, the Legacy Marine and Outlaw armour sets, and Chris Roberts' birthday and coinciding ship sale. With that said, let's get started. Welcome back. At number 9, we have Chris Roberts' birthday. This Sunday, the 27th of May, marked Chris Roberts' 50th birthday. To celebrate, MISC launched a ship sale for the MISC Razor and two of its variants, with limited quantities and special CR 2018 serial numbers. We'll cover it a little later, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who wants to wish Chris a happy birthday and a big thanks for bringing together our Star Citizen community. At number 8, we have ship sales. As previously mentioned, this week saw MISC celebrate its 50th anniversary of setting the record time on a New Horizon run on the Murray Cup track. As such, the Standard Razor, the EX Low Profile, and the LX Top Speed models are all on sale in limited quantity. This is all to coincide with Chris Roberts' own 50th birthday on the 27th of May. There are limited war bond options available, offering lifetime insurance, the CR 2018 serial number, and a reduced price. All the standard versions are available with 6 months insurance and no serial number. The war bond option runs about 10% cheaper this time around, but quantities are limited, and the LX variant is already sold out. The promotion is this weekend only, so grab yours while you can. At number 7, we have the Hercules Starlifter Q&A. This week, CIG posted the results of the Starlifter Q&A, answering many questions about who it's for and how it's going to fit into the existing roster of ships. We'll briefly summarise the top responses here. The Starlifter is going to have 3 beds, a kitchen and a bathroom, despite the fact it isn't designed for long distance travel. These are very minimalistic and are only designed for short stints. The bomb system is currently limited to the Starlifter and some future ships, but we may see it retrofitted to some existing ships in the future, and possibly in future variants. The C2's main advantage over the Starfarer is the cargo being on the inside of the armoured ship, thereby being more protected. The C2 is also capable of transporting vehicles, another feature that the Starfarer can't compete with. The S10 Moabs do more damage and have a bigger damage radius than the S10 torpedoes, but are unguided. The C2 shields aren't designed for combat, but will last long enough for you to escape and call for help if you need it. The A2's cargo space will always contain bomb or missile ordnance equipment, so it's not possible to increase the cargo capacity of the A2. And finally, the C2 medium armour is similar in strength to that of the Starfarer, with the heavy armour on the M2 and A2 being much stronger and more resistant to combat. At number 6, we have the roadmap update. As progress marches on, CIG managed to maintain their pace, adding another 6% to the progress counter this week. That leaves us at a total of 48% completion for 3.2, with roughly 5 weeks till the expected release. If this pace continues, we'd see final progress being 78% at estimated time of release, so let's hope that CIG can step it up as we draw closer. The big winner this week is manned turrets on vehicles, moving from 0 to 100%. We saw remote turrets last week, so it makes sense that we're now seeing manned turrets being checked off. The other big improvements were economy polish at 29%, FPS combat AI at 28%, the Gemini F55 at 21%, and 3 armour sets all gaining 20% each. There was no negative progress this week, but the Vandal Blade and performance optimizations are both still sat at about 17%. Hopefully these will be flashed out as other items move towards completion. We lost both the Service Beacon improvements and the Service Beacon escort systems this week, seeing both pushed back into the 3.3 release. This is a shame, but hopefully it will allow CIG to prioritise other tasks. 3.3 moved 1% this week, regaining some of the lost progress from last week. It's been a fairly quiet week in 3.3, with the biggest gains being background spawning for object container streaming at 4%, Hurston at 2%, and rest stops also at 2%. The only loss was a small 1% loss to Lawville, as more tasks were added to flesh it out. Overall, it's been a busy week in the run-up to the 3.2 release, and while we did lose some features, we also gained decent progress on those that are still there. Let's hope that things continue to run smoothly and we see 3.2 release on time. At number 5, we have lore content. This week began another lore saga, The Knowledge of Good and Evil. This has actually appeared in existing episodes of the Jump Point magazine, but it's being reprinted for all non-subscribers on the website. It follows the story of a young street rat working in the slums of a bazaar somewhere in the verse. The story follows the street rat and leads up to her escape from the bazaar and a look into what follows. I'm reserving judgment at the moment, but it seems to be quite interesting and positive, but we'll see how the next few installments play out. As always, I'll link this post in the video description. Any of you who are subscribers can check out this installment in the Jump Point vault. At number 4, we have Around the Verse. This week's ATV focused on the new Legacy Marine and Outlaw armour sets, and the impressive designs that they have. We also saw a new episode of Lawmaker's Guide to the Galaxy, focused on the Osiris system. But first, we'll take a look at the recent changes to the PU. Helmet HUDs have had new glass effects added to improve the realistic look that they have. Quantum linking is being tested and improved, and the UI is being designed for the first release. Item kiosk branding is progressing with several designs now being implemented. It's looking pretty impressive at this stage, and hopefully it looks even better by the time it makes it to release. Spectrum integration into the Mobi-Glass is being wireframed and nearing the end of the initial design phase. It'll be quite a while till we see it make its way to the verse, but it looks good nonetheless. The mining and scanning systems are improving and are starting to look fleshed out. It's not yet finished and several elements are missing, but it's really coming together. Hurston and Lawville continue to receive attention, and the design is looking really impressive. CIG are looking at the early phases of micro storylines being based around Hurston. I'm really excited, and the images and videos coming out of CIG are looking truly stunning. That's all for general development. Now we move on to a look into the Legacy armour sets. In the verse so far, we've seen the modern Marines, but the Legacy armour will be an older style, with more history and more theme. The armour has gone through a huge unification process, bringing them all in line for materials, manufactures and styling. The Legacy armour is a less streamlined, less modern version of the existing armours. They have softer materials, more leather, and just all round look a bit older. The Outlaw armour has a wide mix of materials, from cloth to leather to metals. It looks really impressive and it's really well designed. I'm really looking forward to this one in particular. These Legacy armours give us a sense of history in the verse, and a look through the progression and development of armour sets over time. You can really see how things have improved and developed throughout the history of the UEEE. These armours are designed to release in 3.2, so you can begin to look forward to seeing them in the verse. Moving on, we have this week's episode of Lawmaker's Guide to the Galaxy. This week we took a look at the Osiris system. Osiris was first discovered in 2788, and is the first system ever protected by the Fair Chance Act. To afford to pay for the protection of the developing species on Osiris-1, licenses were offered to harvest the gas giant Osiris-2. Osiris-2, also known as Etos, has a station orbiting to allow the Navy to protect the planet and to allow scientists to study it. If you'd like to learn more about the planet or its space station, you can check out the full episode of Lawmaker's Guide to the Galaxy at the end of this week's Around the Verse. At number 3, we have Reverse the Verse. This week's RTV saw more information on the new Legacy armours and how they were designed. We'll skip over content that's already been covered and detail all of the new stuff here. It's being considered to allow you to remove your helmet with a key binding. This has been heavily requested by the community, but as we know, the Star Citizen key bindings constantly change, so the designers can't be certain as to whether this will make its way in anytime soon. The plan is not to have any armour that is better than any other. Every armour set will be good at a specific thing, be it environmental protection, combat, etc. The idea is that there will be no one armour set that is the best one and the one that everyone should buy. This will prevent everyone from looking the same, and allow you to go out and buy the thing that you want for the task that you are going to be carrying out. There's currently no plans to allow for specific colouring of gear to allow you to make org colours, but there will be enough variance in the armour sets available to allow you to get close. One of the main features of the new Legacy armours is to improve the poly count to make them more efficient in game. The quality is mostly the same, but performance is vastly better for all of the new armour models. This will be particularly noticeable in Star Marine. In the future, we may see more armour sets adding scarves and capes now that the tech has been implemented. It will be possible to add these, but not on your own. These will have to be designed for the armour set in particular. It is also possible to remove capes and scarves, but it's currently unclear how this will work. Zone culling is applied to armour sets to allow CIG to prevent any layers under the armour from rendering. This helps prevent things from clipping through armour or other weird graphical glitches from happening, and also improves performance. CIG are doing their best to prevent clipping of weapons through capes, etc., but it's not currently fully working, and they're not sure that it'll ever be able to stop it 100%. They're going to try their best, but there is no promises. It's a really difficult problem to overcome, so we wish them all the best. And finally, in the future it may be possible to have particle effects in armour sets. It's not currently planned, but it is technically possible for having things such as flies attracted to a suit, lights attached to an armour set, etc. At number 2, we have events. This week, CitizenCon tickets are being removed from sale for this current wave. They will be coming back in the future, but it's unknown at what point that will become available. If you want to spend a couple of days getting to know the devs in Austin, Texas, grab your tickets from the RSI website ASAP. And finally, at number 1, we have the community overview. This week saw the end of the lore competition, though we haven't yet found out what the winning story is. The Star Marine and Arena Commander tutorial video competitions continue until Wednesday this week, so if you're keen to enter, I'd encourage you to do so, and do so quickly. That's all from me for this week. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of you who helped get me to 50 subscribers. You guys are fantastic, and I couldn't do it without you. Please like if you liked it, get subscribed for more Star Citizen content, and leave any suggestions you have in the comments below. I'll see you guys in next week's episode of Week in Review.